Hello there and welcome to a video on life in general this time. If you enjoyed, hit subscribe. If you have any questions, drop me a comment. This is not going to be a long video. I'm not rich. I'm not trying to teach you how to become rich. I'm no oracle and I don't have all the answers. But I want to make sure that we don't blame the wrong people for how society works. And there's nothing wrong about being rich, and the rich are making more money than the rest of us. But I just want to make sure that you're not blaming the media or politicians or the Illuminati or the Jews for rich people getting richer. And I hear a lot of talk about a rigged system and an unfair society. That might be the case. I'm not here to, give you some politics talk. But I just want to remind you of how our society works and why the rich people are where they are. Now, if we just make a very simplified illustration of our society, all we need to do is follow the money, right? Because when we're talking about rich people, all we're talking about is really money. Who has the most money? And if we look at it this way, money moves upwards in society. These are consumers, buying goods and services, and they buy it from usually small businesses or companies, and these companies might be under an even bigger company, Amazon, Google, Facebook, whatever, and these businesses are owned by its investors, so that's shareholders, and maybe there's actually a business owner, a founder or CEO. Now, below this line, people are trading their time for money, so they're working on a salary. Down here, they might be making $40,000 a year. In the middleman area or middlewoman, you're making maybe $100,000 a year. But above this red line, you start making profits. You get return on investments. So above here, you're making money in percentages. So maybe you've invested $1 million into a stock or a business and you make 20% every year. That's $200,000. So above this line, they're accumulating wealth way faster and on a much larger scale than these people can hope to do. But through the power of the stock market, any person can actually go from being just a regular consumer to actually being an investor. This way, you are essentially part owner of these big businesses, and whenever they make a profit, you get a share of that profit. Not as much as the business owner, but your fair share. And so you're going to make the same amount of money on a relative basis. So if you're an investor and the company has good profits, you might make 20% on your profit, and the business owner will make 20% on his or her money. But of course, the richer you are, the more money you have. And since it's growing on a relative basis, normal people will never be able to catch up to the really big investors and business owners. But at least, you're gonna move upwards in society. And of course, there are private companies that you can't invest in, but a lot of the biggest companies making the most money are actually public companies. And this way you can go from, being a normal consumer to actually just being an investor or being a business owner yourself. So, money is not controlled by politicians or the Illuminati. It simply follows the way of least resistance, and it just goes upwards. And you want to make sure that you're as high up as possible, and don't be down here blaming all the people on top or the politicians for your financial situations, or blame it on a rigged system. Just make sure you work your way up and invest as much money as possible, and it's quite easy. But a lot of people are not taking advantage of tools such as the stock market or real estate investing, the bond market, cryptocurrencies. You know, cryptocurrency is a great example of when normal people had a chance to literally go from here to being super rich people. Very few people took the chance, and they're still just blaming, you know, everything on a rigged system, when you in fact every day you're passing on opportunities to invest on the stock market, to invest in, you know, pot stocks, to invest in cryptocurrencies, to invest in real estate investment trust, and, you know, getting started on your journey to building wealth, and instead just blaming it on whatever, or just spending your money, right? Because down here you're just spending and consuming, spending and consuming, spending and consuming, like, you know, sheep. But you want to put aside a little bit and make sure you're investing so that you get a share of the growth, and you're sort of, you join the tide. Again, if you invest, you know, $1,000 in the stock market, you're obviously not going to make as much money as Jeff Bezos, which has tens of billions of dollars in Amazon stock, but you're doing better. And over generations, you might move up here. And keep in mind that your returns will get some diminishing returns. So if you have $1,000, it's actually quite easy to double that money. But if you have $100 billion, that might not be so easy. So you can actually sometimes get better returns as a, you know, just a speculator or small-time investor than the big investors, because they have so much money and so much legal troubles and expenses and things to deal with, that, you know, they can't just put $100 billion in a company and get 20% return on the stock. It just doesn't work like that, right? So you can actually catch up if you just work hard and invest your money. And yeah, just a simple reminder of, you know, how money works and where it goes, and how to end up at, you know, its end destination. So hope this helps. Until my next video.